Hello, my friends. I just want to share something that I believe I've spoken or at least touched upon it before throughout the course of my videos. But if you don't listen to all of them, you probably never even heard about this. But what I'm trying to show is what the Spirit has showed as far as a piece of the lawlessness that is within the country and within Western civilization. And it all stems back to what Jesus taught us as you go back to Barabbas and you go back to Jesus, and the crowds were so filled with hatred towards Jesus Christ that they let a convicted murderer, rapist, stealer, whatever, everything that Barabbas was, they let him walk away and instead crucified the one who didn't do anything to anybody. And this is a replay, all happening in society the same way that you saw it happen with Jesus. People hate the administration. They hate the leaders. They hate the average, everyday citizens in the country so much that they would rather let someone who is a criminal walk free than convict somebody for what they've actually done. And this replays all over the media all the time. This is an illegal alien that was convicted or indicted for a 92-year-old woman's murder. De Blasio, the mayor of New York, which is Sodom, he defends the freeing of this man. It says it is right to hold the standard. This is an illegal alien. They have no rights other than they are in the country and they must abide by a certain set of standards that anyone who lives in American soil has. He doesn't have a right to a trial. He doesn't have a right to anything. He does have a right not to be tortured. That's international law. That's what America has agreed upon. He has a right not to be tortured. But anything other than that is a right this man does not have. Yet why will the governor of New York defend this man? And they're defending them because of the political nature of it. De Blasio knows that a lot of people that he has in New York City who will elect him are illegal or know someone who's illegal or they have a standard where they believe illegal aliens are just like citizens. These people are all brainwashed into believing this. So then what does de Blasio do? He lets Barabbas go because he doesn't want to stand firm on the law that America and its citizens have set. So everything becomes a political battle instead of a law battle. And we know that human beings cannot take the law of God and perfectly do it. Neither can human beings take their own law and perfectly do it. There's always gray areas within law, and that's why the Spirit is there to guide and walk with those who will follow the Spirit, to teach it. But those who do not have the Spirit, those who do not have the law, those who do not know anything other than power, they use things such as this to a brainwashed population in order that they receive the power that they desire. So this man who doesn't have any rights because he's not an American citizen gets to walk free, as an American citizen would be in jail still. They would have never let him go. And this plays out all throughout society. We see all the sweeping prison reforms that we have. We see Jay-Z now suing a state or a city or something because they're treating criminals too poorly. These are criminals and convicted criminals that have done wrong to people within society, and yet now we're more for them than we are for the victim. This is going against the widow and the poor. This is what society does whenever it has reached the point of its own crucifixion. It lets the criminal go instead of upholding the innocent. And that's what we see happen. That's what happened with Barabbas. It's what happened with Jesus. It's happening now within society where criminals are given more freedoms and have more things done for them than their victims. It's something very easy. You can see if you switch through the news, you can see the Spirit operating here. My friends, when you see this, it is because it has already happened. It's already happened between Barabbas and Jesus. This is just a replay of that we see at the end. Fear not of it, because the lawlessness will be extinguished by the Lord Jesus Christ. But Understand, whenever you see all of this catering to prisoners and catering to criminals, they cater to these prisoners and these criminals because they catered to them first. When Jesus was here, they catered to the criminal over the innocent. Thus, you have it happen whenever the Lord returns. They will cater to the criminal instead of uphold the innocent. It happened with Jesus and Barabbas, and it's happening all throughout Western civilization now. And it's not happening because people feel bad for these inmates or these illegals. It's happening because they desire to have the power over them, and they will let a criminal go, believing that they will then vote for them to give their power to the person who is wicked because they let them go. Whenever you have a whole world in a frenzy to survive, the world will look to criminals, people that not only spoke of crimes, but people who actually did the crimes. They will look to them as their friends because they desire to have somebody commit crimes for them. So they will look to a criminal as their friend, but the criminal has no loyalties. He's a hired henchman, and he hires whoever or wherever he thinks he can get it. So in the end, they will turn on those who have enslaved them. But right now, the criminals are a big friend of the world because they will do the things that many people in the world do not have the stomach to do themselves. So it's upholding the criminal over upholding the victim. And there is truly victims and there is truly criminals within society. And society, of course, gets it wrong. But it gets it wrong because they have hated Jesus Christ first, because he will be hated by the whole world. They have hated him first, and this has already happened with Barabbas. My friends, pay attention to these criminal reforms and all of these things that you see on the news with criminals walking free while the victims get no justice. The justice is coming. The Lord is waiting for his own return to set the world straight of this for all of those who love him. That's coming, my friends, but until then you will see this get much worse. Much, much worse, as Barabbas will run free everywhere. And it's only so that those in power can keep those who are criminals enslaved into giving up their power to those who do wickedness and plot wickedness against all of God's people. God bless.